Hey, what's up guys? My name is Michael Hogman, and today we're going to be talking about my top 5 best places to drop and find loot for beginners in Fortnite. Now before we get started, since you guys have been super supportive on all the Fortnite content I've been releasing, I'll be giving away a HyperX Cloud Alpha gaming headset on this video, and all you have to do to enter this giveaway is go down below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and comment down below with what your favorite part about Fortnite is. And I will be picking a winner in my next Fortnite video that will release later this week. If you're just starting to get into Fortnite, you're probably trying to figure out where to go to find loot fast. Where can you find the best guns? Where can you find the shields? And how are you going to go about winning a Battle Royale match? And one thing that I noticed when I first started playing Fortnite is that there's always clusters of houses right outside the major towns, but there's a lot less people that go to these houses. And inside these houses, there's actually several pieces of loot, there's several chests, and ways you can go about getting very geared very quickly and then going into these towns and kind of clearing out people as you are already geared. And I think that you're going to really enjoy what I have to say here, so let's go ahead and jump into number 5 of my favorite places to loot for beginners. Our first location is going to be to the west of Pleasant Park, and these duo cluster of houses that you can see on this map. You're going to be landing there and land on the White House in the far, which I'll explain later, and then after that you're going to go straight up into the tri-cluster of trees. There's a possible chest there, and you'll head straight into Pleasant Park to cause some mayhem. Alright, so when you're landing in this Pleasant Park location, trying to get to these houses on the little bit of the west of it, and then when you get there, you're going to go straight towards the tri-cluster of trees if possible and scout out if there is a chest on the truck. You can see that I actually do that. I use my glider to go look and see on the back of that truck in the bed if there is a chest. I do spot one, so that means I am going to be going there later and getting the chest. And now I'm going to land on the taller building. The reason for that is if somebody is landing next to you, they're going to land on the broken house trying to go for that chest. What you want to do is land on the taller house so you can immediately start digging down. You will get to that chest faster than the other person will get to his chest. And what you can do is you can pick up the weapon from your chest, turn around, and aim straight at the broken house. He has no cover, and you're able to finish him off if need be. There's no one on the enemy team, or sorry, there's no enemy there for me to deal with, so that means that I'm immediately going to be starting to loot this house, finish up my looting. There wasn't a whole lot, unfortunately. There usually is, and I am able to get a starter weapon. I'm able to get a shotgun, tactical shotgun. I'm able to loot this ammo crate, and then I'm going straight up into the second floor in order to loot that second chest. So what this means is that you're going to basically be able to loot 3 chests before you head into Pleasant Park, which is going to give you a huge advantage. Sometimes you're going to get shields, sometimes you're going to get medkits, and you'll be able to get probably 2 to 3 weapons in total, you know, whatever quality weapon that might be, and that will give you an edge going into Pleasant Park where you can take people kind of off guard and maybe get a couple kills and get their loot. Moving on to number 4, you're going to have the east of the Greasy Grove, which is going to give you a couple options. You're going to loot the 2 houses just like you did at Pleasant Park, and then you can either go south and go up the mountain and then loot the chest at each one of those areas that I've marked for you, or you can go north to the other house, loot that, and then go straight into Greasy Grove, depending on what you get. When landing at this specific location, you're likely going to land from an angle. As you can see, the bus is always going to go northeast is usually when you'll go to this specific cluster of houses. But what you're going to try to do is go similar to how you went with Pleasant Park. You're going to try to get to that taller house as fast as you can. It is extremely important because other people will likely try to land at those houses, and you want to get to a gun as fast as you possibly can, maybe finish somebody off before they are able to get to a gun themselves, and then you'll be able to move on to your next objective, right? So as you can see, I am scouting out, looking for people, seeing where they're going to land. I end up going for the taller house, trying to get to that chest in the roof, the attic, and as fast as possible, but also being, you know, very conscious of where people are. You can see that I am going to be fighting one other person. I get the green assault rifle, turn around, finish this guy off real quick as he's looting that second chest. So my loot is going to be there. He's not using any of my shields, and I'm able to loot the rest of this house. You know, not the greatest loot in the world, but it is something that is worth having, right? So after that, I get a trap. I actually put that trap up on the roof immediately and close the door behind me. I think that's really worth doing because I actually get a kill with this later on. It's really good to be able to do that. I get a shotgun, I've got a submachine gun, a slurp, some bandages, and then that's pretty much it from this house cluster. And I decide that I'm actually going to be going up the side of this mountain and looking for the chest on the southern path. I feel like since I don't have any shields, it's really not worth going into Greasy Grove quite yet, and I've got a lot of stuff I can work with or catch people off guard from the high ground. So I end up going towards the south. I get that chest into the southeastern portion of this ridge, and I'm able to get that chest. I get something pretty cool out of it, and then I move over towards that broken house off in the distance. I think that it's really important to know where you're at in a game. Be sure to tell yourself, are you able to fight other players, or do you need to keep looting? And once you do that, you'll be able to really understand where you're going in a game, as opposed to just running into Greasy Grove, not having shields, not having enough equipment, and dying. Number 3 is going to be Greasy Grove as well. Off to the west in the corner of the map, you can see that there is a dual cluster of houses you will be looting at, and then you'll head straight to a broken house, down into the tri-cluster of trees for another chest spawn, and head right over to a ridge in which you can overlook Greasy Grove. Now this one's a lot different, but it also is a slower start, I would say, to your game. You're going to have a lot more area to run. A lot of people will like to land on top of this mountain, but I don't think that you really get enough out of it. And I just don't feel like it's super worth it. A lot of people will try to go towards that, so I go for this dual cluster of houses. One is a 3-story house. It has a basement, it has a 1 tier, and then it has the top, the second tier. There's actually up to 3 chests that can spawn in here, so I think it's important to land on the second tier, the second roof, not the tallest roof, but the second roof, and then dig down there for that first chest that likely spawns. It's really unlikely for that to not spawn, I've noticed. So I get a scoped AR, I get a shield out of it, and then I'm immediately heading over into the basement. I jump out, jump in one swipe, and I get a green shotgun, which is really nice. I get a gray AR, so I've got 3 weapons, 3 good weapons already. I loot the ammo box, head straight up, arrange my bags a little bit, and then I go straight into the first tier. I loot just the normal spawns, as you can see, come out, loot the garage, see that there's another weapon there, and then you can immediately head straight towards the other house, being geared up. If somebody did land there, you're going to already be able to deal with them. Nobody's there that I can see, so I actually am able to loot this very easily. Go from first tier to second tier, and then head straight up into the top attic again for a 3rd chest, which is really great. So I've got 2 shields, a sniper, a scoped AR, a green pump shotgun, and an assault rifle. And I think that shows that looting these houses can be very, very good. It's just a matter of a little bit of luck, and then also looting efficiently, being fast, and knowing where you're going. After that, I immediately go straight over to the right. I head straight towards that broken house, which I mapped out for you guys previously, which you can rewind and go check that out. And there's a chest in there, and then there's immediately to the south of that broken house, there is a tri-cluster of trees in which there is a chest that spawns in the middle of those trees sometimes as well. But as you can see, I have a start with a 200 health. I've got 4 great weapons, and I'm just moving along into Greasy Grove to cause some havoc. Number 2 is actually my favorite beginner loot path for Fortnite players. I think that landing to the east of Anarchy Acres and on the double cluster of houses, then running over to another double cluster of houses and having the high ground is really good. And then you can actually go to the semi-truck, find another chest, and on top of that go to the bridge and get another chest and go to Anarchy Acres, which is really, really open and good for you to shoot with. The reason why I feel like going for this specific loot path is so good is because there are so many chests that you can have, and if you start in the correct location, since there's a lot of options, right? If you start in the correct location, you're always going to have the high ground, which I think is really important for Battle Royale games in general. Whenever you have the high ground, you have the advantage. And starting with this loot path, I actually go ahead and land at that specific house cluster that I mapped out for you guys. I actually messed up my glider a little bit. I landed a little bit too low, and that means that I'm not going to be able to land on top of that white house, which puts me at a disadvantage. I immediately go for the broken house, looking for a gun, trying to find people. There are people that are landing with me. I find a gray pump shotgun, and then I get 2 mini shields. I start drinking them immediately to give me an edge in the battle that I'm about to have, since I'm at a disadvantage. I pull out my pump shotgun, and then I immediately start fighting this guy. I hit him for 90. He runs away. He doesn't have a gun since I got there faster. And then I'm looking for the second player. I end up hitting him and finishing him off as well. So that means I've killed 2 players in the span of 30 seconds of the game starting, and I'm able to loot this house on my own, which is really great. I get a gray assault rifle, I've got 45 shield whenever I use that second mini, and then I've got 2 pump shotguns. 1 is green, which is very great, and I'm able to loot the chest in the attic very, very smoothly, right? So I get a green AR, I get some metal, I've got some wood on me already, and right now I'm looking for a shield that I can use on top of my mini shields. So, you know, I've got a lot of really great guns here. I'm immediately going to head over to that second double cluster of houses, try and find people. Since you have such a big high ground, finding these other people that'll be at this next double cluster of houses, you have just a huge advantage. You can see exactly where they are in the windows, and then you can immediately try to fight them. So I can see if someone's on the second tier of this house going for the attic chest spawn, and then I'm building straight to him. I mess up a little bit, unfortunately. I end up fighting this guy, I end up winning, and I loot the rest of these houses. He has a lot of really great stuff, which is nice. He has a boogie bomb, and He wasn't even expecting me, which is crazy. So I kill him with my pick, which is also pretty funny. I get a purple tactical shotgun, really great start. I get a boogie bomb, and I am able to still loot up to 2 more chests. After that, you'll be heading up to the semi-truck. Sometimes there is a chest that spawns in there, and then sometimes there's a chest that spawns in the bridge after that. Once you get through those 2 areas, after these houses, you will immediately head into Anarchy Acres. Since it's such an open area, you can finish people off very easily without them having any cover, and you're going to have great guns. You're going to be able to work with a lot going into that town. And the number 1 spot for looting as a beginner is going to be the racetrack. What you're going to want to do is start off on the farthest east you can possibly do. There's several chests that can spawn there. You can maybe get a gun on the tree to the south of those chests, head straight over to the houses and the stand. Then you head to the mini house, the shed, and you'll head to the broken house, the destroyed house, and you'll head straight into retail row. What's really cool about this specific landing spot at the racetrack is that there's no one behind you. Like, no one comes up behind you or comes to your right or left, really. It's very rare for that to happen. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to go straight to that farthest point closest to the sea. You're going to try to get to that stand, and the reason for that is there are 2 possible chest spawns right there. And not only that, but you have weapon spawns on top of the stand, you have a weapon spawn at the tree, and sometimes it spawns a shield. It's really like very fast paced and good for you to get to that stuff. When you do get to those weapons, you can actually use all of them onto that second house cluster that you're going to be walking to straight after that in a straight line, and then off in the retail row. So as you can see, since I landed at this spot faster, somebody else actually decided that they weren't going to fight me at all since they knew I would get to the guns faster. I end up getting 2 pump shotguns and a burst assault rifle immediately, and there's a chest below me, right? So I'm pretty much geared out on guns for the starting couple seconds of the game. I get a chest, which gives me mini shields and a blue burst assault rifle, which is pretty lucky. So that means I have 150 health, and I've got 4 great guns. And then I'm going to go check out the tree a little bit, see what there is at the southern tree, and if not, oh, I actually don't check out the tree because I immediately head towards the house since I saw that that person was landing at the house. I did a quick flick back just to look at the tree, but it didn't really, matter a whole lot. I noticed that the gun wasn't good. It was just a gray weapon. So I immediately head to this house. I noticed that 2 people were fighting each other inside the house, so I'm going to take a slow approach and see what I can get. I actually kill another person that lands immediately. That guy had a really bad day. And then I'm looking for this guy inside this house that's trying to loot this this chest at the top, right? So I shoot away the attic wall, and then I'm trying to finish him off because he's already low on health. He has a silenced pistol, doesn't end up hurting me at all. And then I flick out the shotgun, finish him off, and you can see how much of an advantage I have. That guy's looting guns, and I've already got my guns, right? So I end up taking 1 silenced pistol, walk through the house, make sure there's no more loot. It doesn't appear that there is, and then I will immediately head towards the shed after that. And once I get through the shed, just look for a little bit of loot. You can also farm wood here. There's like 10 trees that you can farm a little extra wood if you need it. And then I will head straight into the broken house. There's another chest, which means that you can have up to 4 chests in one quick loot path. Head into retail row and try to start finishing people off. Alright everyone, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to give a big thumbs up and support it. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel and participate in that HyperX Cloud Alpha giveaway that I am hosting on this video. To enter, all you have to do is leave a like on this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment down below, and hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys all tomorrow, and have a good one.